You guys know who the GOAT is, don't you?
Who?
I'm the GOAT.
I'm the goat.
I'm the goat.
Hey, stop eating stuff, Bob.
Bad. Hey guys, I'm Tim, and this is the Board Game Rundown. Today, I am going to show off the games that I purchased, my Gen Con haul, if you will. I'm not showing the review copies, or anything like that. I'm showing you the stuff that I spent my own money on. First of all, let me just say, Gen Con was a fantastic time. I got to see tons of old friends, make a bunch of new friends, play some games with some people that watch the show. Brandon, Saki, Ginger, your crew. You guys rock, and I had a great time playing with you. But I'm going to save more of that conversation for our Whiskey Wednesday live stream, which is probably already out by the time you're watching this, where we will cover our top 5 games that we played at Gen Con. So again, some of these I've played, some of them I have not. But these are the games that I purchased, and I'm pretty excited about. I thought, what's weird is I thought I purchased more, but I might have bought more at Origins, and I'm not even going to show you those specifically. But anyways, I digress. So one of the first ones I'm going to talk about, and I did get to play this, is Ubibo. So I got this at the Surf and Meeple booth, and in Ubibo, it's like Twister with your hands. You're trying to fit these chopsticks, like hold them up with your hands with other players. It's really dumb and like a ton of fun. So it is, of course, my 100% my kind of game. Another one that I'm going to talk about really fast, also purchased at that same booth, is Panda Spin. So this is a ladder climbing trick-taking game, which I did get to play a little bit, but I know we played it wrong, so I don't really understand all of the rules yet. But what's going to happen is, so like in this trick-taker, you're playing is you follow the hand that is led. So if the hand that is led is a pair, then you have to come back with a higher pair. But you can't play like 3 of a kind. You can't play straight or a flush or anything like that. You have to follow the hand that was led. So where this one's interesting is that if you do not win the trick, you pick your cards up and you flip them the other way. You spin them. And so you're going to have like sort of a better value. And I'll show this off real quick because so the cards sort of have this, and then they upgrade, and their upgraded value might have like a special ability that goes with it. Actually, this is like the weak version, and this is the upgraded version. So it changes from a 5 to a 10, and it gives you like a water symbol, which is going to give you points every time you play. But I mean, like really nice foil inlay on the back of the cards. So really interesting game. Looks like a unique twist on a trick taker. Even though we were playing it wrong, I did sort of enjoy it conceptually. Oops. I did enjoy it conceptually. So I know that I'm not going to pass any judgment on it yet, because I know that there was a few things that we were not like super clear when we played. Another game. So they had a buy 2 get 1 free. So I threw this one in because this is a 1v1v all trick-taking area control game. Haven't played it, don't know anything about it other than it's called The Fixer. So those were the 3 games that I got at the Surf and Meeple. So they distribute like stuff for like Matago and off the page games and things like that. Oh, bear with me, my light's acting weird. Anyways, so let's go over to the Asmodee booth. I bought this awesome, cute little game called Duck and Cover. I played this at Gen Con for the first time last year, and it didn't have U.S. distribution yet. So I'm very excited that it now has U.S. distribution. And so we are trying to consolidate our ducks by, I forget exactly how it plays, but like a number is going to get drawn, and you can move your ducks, and then it goes until people can't move their ducks. Duck and Cover Very light, super fun, and really, really looking forward to getting that played again. Then also, while I was at the Asmodee booth, I of course acquired my copy of the Battle of Hoth. This was kind of interesting, and I'll tell a really quick story about this. So the Asmodee booth, as like any convention, you're going to have like some hiccups. There's going to be some issues, and like some things are not going to necessarily go perfectly. Asmodee's booth is a prime example of that. So we got in line Thursday morning for this game. Bob and I did. Bob actually messaged me, "Hey, I'm in line. If you can get over here, there's like a couple other people in line. You know, see if you can get over here, blah, blah, blah." So I run all the way across the hall, and it's early. It hasn't like officially opened yet, so I was able to get in. So I run all the way across the hall. I get in line with Bob. I'm like 4 people behind him. And they weren't selling anything until 10 o'clock when the show opens, which is totally fine. Respect that. Look, some booths will sell early and some want to make you wait. As long as you're upfront about it, I understand. And you're not rude, because I have had booths be rude, like the Earth Games booth. Whoever made Earth, that booth 2 years ago, a year ago, they were not the nicest people, and I didn't appreciate that. Anyways, I'll call you out. So Bob's in line. He calls me. I run and get in line. And so we're waiting for 10 o'clock because that's when they want to open for sales for everybody. Totally understand that. No problem. This was a game where you had the option to pre-order for pickup at Gen Con. So I didn't do that. I was too late. I found out about it too late. They had already sold those. So I was just like, okay, well, I'll just get one, at the show. They said they're going to have copies available. Thursday morning, we're in line. We wait. Bob waited longer than I did, at least 10 minutes longer than I did. I waited about 10 minutes. And so we're there. And then they come out and they're like, "Oh, we're only selling the pre-orders today." So all of us waited in line for nothing. There were some gentlemen in front of us that were really, really irate. So they weren't even selling regular copies to people there on Thursday, which is kind of a bummer, because if that was your only day there and you didn't know about the pre-order, you didn't get the pre-order, that's frustrating, right? Because that was a game that was high on my list, and I thought, well, there's a really good chance now that I may not be able to get it, and I was really legitimately concerned about that. I thought for sure, like, well, I'm not going to be able to get my hands on one. I'll just have to wait and see. But we went in the next day, got in line. We got in line about 9:15, 9:30. We're like, well, let's go get in that line now. Well, then they opened up and they just sold to us. Didn't even wait. So, I mean, I'm really glad we got it. Bob had a tournament he was going to go do for Dust and Dirt. So, I mean, all in all, it all worked out, but it was like a little hinky there for a minute. So anyways, that was our experience at the Mayday booth, or the Asmodee booth, excuse me. And then you'll hear me talk about this game, but one that I was very excited. Parker Simpson told us about it on our live stream when he was our guest. And he was talking to us about Light Speed Arena. So I did pre-order this from Ares Games. I got all 3 expansions with it. 2 of the expansions are ships, like extra factions. And then one of the other expansion, which I hope to never use, to be honest, is the downgrade analog kit. So Light Speed Arena, you're going to, depending on the amount of players and what you feel like doing, you're going to have a certain number of ships. They all have an initiative value, and they also have lasers and shields on them coming out at random parts. You are going to be throwing down your ships. You have 10 seconds to place the ship. Everybody's doing it simultaneously. Try to aim it. Once that 10 seconds is up, though, you can't touch that ship anymore. And then you're going to go on and place your next ship until everybody's placed all of their ships. Then you're going to take a photo of it and submit it into the app, which will then scan it and play you, if you want to watch it, the resolution of where all those laser beams go. And it is hilarious. It is super fun, and it literally takes less than 5 minutes to teach and play. It is supreme chaos. Chef's kiss. It is amazing. So I scooped that up, and then Bob bought a copy, Mike bought a copy, our friend Chris bought a copy. I think Brandon bought a copy. So like I'm responsible for a lot of people buying that, just like Parker was responsible for me buying it. I did at Keymaster Games, I did pick up the new reprint of Campy Creatures, even though I just acquired the OG version back in May off an IndieCon flea market. But I really dig like what they did here with the box. Like it's like an old VHS. So I think that's pretty rad. I'm here for it. It says volume 1. To me, that implies that there are going to be other volumes. So of course I had to have it and be ready to begin the collection anew. So anyways, that's Campy Creatures. That's sort of like you play a card, resolve it, but the cards have special abilities, so you want to be careful of like the timing of when you use them, because you're like using them to bid. Anyways, Campy Creatures. All right, I'm gonna jump around a little bit. I went over to Trick or Treat Studios, got to meet Andy Van Zant over there. He's one of our contacts because we did some work for Camp Grizzly. So that video will be out maybe by the time you're watching this, as their Kickstarter's going live. But I wanted to support them. And so I bought Antiques Ghost Show. So this is a sort of a game where you're buying up this art collection, like this antiques collection, but oops, it's haunted. So you want to have sort of the least haunted collection by the end of the game. Have not played it yet. Look forward to getting it into it. I love the title and I love the art. And from there, I did also pick up a pin of the Tarman zombie to give to our good buddy Jim Cole, because he's awesome. And it's a nice little thing I could do for him after all he's done for us. Another game, and you'll hear Mike talk about this. Mike bought it, but I did get Wolf Street, auction bidding market manipulation game. I don't really know much about it other than that it was going to be really hard to get. And so I took a flyer on it, and I know Mike was excited. So I'm down for Wolf Street. I'm ready to learn it and see what it's all about. And I got one more. So this one kind of blew my mind. So ages ago, we did a Kickstarter preview for a game called Chaos Cove. It was a Martin Wallace game published by Ape Games. Just by sheer dumb luck, we had the opportunity to have lunch with Martin on Wednesday. It was amazing. Got to hang out with him and Berkey from Game Toppers, and it was really fun. And our mutual friend Max Michael, who's a great dude, and Max is doing some work with Roxley right now. But anyways, then we ran into Martin again on Friday evening, and I had mentioned to him that I had picked up Chaos Cove because I was like, oh yeah, I'd been waiting to hear, like when it was going to come out. And he's like, oh yeah, it's for sale here. It should be at the show. And so I found it. I bought a copy. And of course I left it in the car when I ran into Martin again. So I was not able to get it signed. But he did tell me the story behind Chaos Cove. So I guess Ape Games had developed this game, had signed this game with another designer. They paid for all the art. And then they were still sort of in the developmental process, and they had all these notes. They gave it to the designer, and he said, no, I'm not changing anything. And so they said, okay, well, we already paid for this art. So we're not going to use your design because you don't want to change anything. So then they got Martin Wallace to then design a game within the footprint of all of the art and everything that was already done, within the game and the board and everything like that. So it was a really interesting story and like a really interesting design challenge for him, right? So Chaos Cove, here you go. It's trying to remember exactly how it goes, but I know like you've got these two sides of the board. You're sort of building these forts on either side. You're trying to knock out the enemies as they're coming in, but you're also trying to make them harder for the ones you're not at so that your opponents will get stuck. And there's an interesting sort of character drafting system each round, so you can take a character, a unique character that's going to give you an asymmetric power. And then, of course, the board has all these different locations which you're going to go to, and they're going to give you different abilities, different resources, and things like that. So a lot going on in there, but I picked that up, and I got like the metal coins and stuff for that. That's it. That's what I got at Gen Con. We did get a handful of review things. I'll talk about those on a different episode, I think. Let me know if you want to know what kind of review stuff we're getting, and I'll be happy to share what we got coming down the pipe. We did have really great meetings with Panasaurus, so we got some stuff from them. We made a really nice contact at Restoration Games. I'm really hoping that we can develop that relationship. And then we got some stuff from Renegade, which was great. They're very awesome. And we got some stuff from Smirk and Dagger. And really, 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 really looking forward to what Covert has coming out at Smirk and Dagger. They are going to have some really big hits and some amazing games hitting you very soon. And then there's a couple like indie people we got some stuff from, and yeah, I think I'll just leave it at there. I'll leave this video shorter, but let me know in the comments if you were at Gen Con, what did you get? If you didn't go to Gen Con, what would you have got if you could have gone? Like what, Lightning Train was a big release. I didn't get it. I saw a bunch of people get it. The Ace of Spades game, I actually was going to try to get, but then it started selling out like really fast. And I just was frankly too lazy to chase a copy for a game that might be a bust, kind of like the Gang was last year. And so, stuff like that. So yeah, there was a few things I didn't really try too hard to get. I tried to get the ones I was excited about, and I knew about going in, which was Lightspeed Arena and the Battle for Hoth. Those were like the big boys on my list. Other than that, it was kind of like running around and scooping up a few things here and there. So, but yeah, I mean, Gen Con was great. It's always going to be what you make it. I know there were some people that struggled with like some of the event ticketing and things like that. And yeah, I was bummed there were some events that were sold out before I could get to them. And that like, oh, that's disappointing, because there were some DC deck building tournaments I definitely would have played in. But guess what? I sat Saturday, played games with friends of the show, met a ton of people. I spent Thursday and Friday walking around the hall with the guys and, family, and just seeing friends. And I played a ton of prototypes. And so for me, I had an amazing show. Not everything is going to be just bam, 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 amazing. But like Mike did a really good job of sort of having a calendar together. So we knew when we had to be certain places for certain things. We did a few events. We did an all play event. We did a Third World Studios event, which was great. And I just got to see some amazing people and make a few new friends, and then just kind of soak up the love from some of those ongoing friendships that we've got. My voice is slightly getting better every day, and so I guess I'll save the rest for the next show. But yeah, you're going to see things happening a little bit differently here. Bear with us. Please give us your feedback, anything we can do to improve the show, because we are now truly independent. We are no longer associated with Game Talk Network. It's a friendly parting, so nothing there. But we'll be setting up a new Patreon and things like that going forward. And we're going to try to find some ways to make that worth your time. So if you stayed this late for that Easter egg, you're welcome. And thank you for watching this far. If you found this video useful, please consider liking, subscribing, tell your friends, tell your family, ring the bell, join our Discord, find us on Wednesday. Join us on our live streams on Wednesdays. Hop in, drop us a line, comment on the video, do all the things. We really appreciate you and couldn't do it without you. So for the Board Game Rundown, I've been Tim. We'll see you next time.
Do you like to party?
I do like to party.
I also like to party.
I like to party.
A 7.3.
This is a great party.
Repeating.
We should party more
Heating.
often.
Heating.
I do like to
Heating. Okay.
I also like to party. I also like to party.
I like to party. I like to party.
We should party more often.
Okay.
This is a great party.
Okay.